السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. اسمي جوي هود. أنا نائب السفير الامريكي في بغداد. I'm really happy today to share with you lots of information about my home state of New Hampshire, a very small state here in the northeast part of the United States. I'm actually struck by the number of similarities there are between New Hampshire and Iraq. For example, as you can see, here we have some very difficult neighbors just like you do. See, here's Massachusetts. And we have a lot of lakes and rivers, just like Iraq. We also produce dairy products, like you have here, but not quite the quality of Gamer, but we're getting there. We're working on it. We have a lot of agricultural areas, such as apple orchards. You see this sheikh here, he looks like he could be an Iraqi. Very happy at his apple orchard. They're so beautiful, those apple orchards, that sometimes people get married in them, which is fantastic. Another similarity you'll find between towns and villages in New Hampshire and here in Iraq is our religious buildings. Here, of course, it's normally a mosque or in some places a church, but there it's a church that looks just like this one in the center of every town, a big white steeple. This is from my hometown. Like Iraq, we also have a lot of tourists. Even though our state is only about the size of Salahuddin Governorate, we receive about 9 million tourists every year coming in the space of 2 months to look at the beautiful leaves on the trees as the weather changes from hot to cold. We also have the oldest post office building in the United States, which is about 200 years old, and that's really an accomplishment when you're talking about a building made out of wood. We also have some very famous funny people from New Hampshire, not just me, but Sarah Silverman, Seth Meyers, and Seth Meyers and I actually explored something else that New Hampshire is famous for, which is its private education. We have a number of schools like St. Paul's School, where Mr. Myers and I spent a summer many years ago, and Phillips Exeter Academy, among many others. New Hampshire is also famous for helping to choose the next president every 4 years. As you know, we have primary elections in every state to try to determine who the candidates are going to be for the national election. New Hampshire is the first state to have a primary election every cycle. So a lot of people in New Hampshire say if they don't personally meet their candidate, they will not vote for him or her, which is, I think, a good way of doing things. Now, one big difference between Iraq and New Hampshire, and it's kind of something not very good about the state, is its weather. In the space of just a couple of days, you can go from rainy to snowy to sunny, warm weather. It can be very extreme. This is our tallest mountain, Mount Washington, on which we have recorded wind speeds of more than 372 kilometers an hour. It can be snowy up there almost the entire year, and we can have temperatures in the state from minus 40 degrees all the way up to 41 degrees during the summer. So you can go and enjoy the weather in New Hampshire, but just be aware that it can change all the time. And a lot of times, it's just wicked cold. Thank you for learning more about my state. I'd love to hear more about your governorate, especially Salahuddin, because I've never been there, and it's almost exactly the same geographical size as New Hampshire, and has almost exactly the same population. So in your comments, please let me know more about where you live. Thanks.